everyone. I'm Dr. Renee Mehrra. Thank you so much for joining Zoom In with Renee. Today, my guest is Dr. Melina Mishra. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for having me.
And Dr. Melina is the co-founder with her late husband, Ramkant Mishra of Chandika LLC, which was established in 2002. And it provides pranic alternative Ayurvedic formulations using the delivery system, whether it's oral, transdermal, transmucosal, and even using Marma points for effectiveness. Dr. Melina is continuing the legacy of Ramkant Mishra with consultations as an Ayurvedic counselor, as well as through products and through her workshops and seminars. And today I'm going to be talking to Dr. Melina about a very important critical issue, which is EMF, electromagnetic radiation. And we all know EMF, we get electric magnetic waves to the sun. So one is natural and one is human-made sources. And the natural one is non-ionizing radiation, which means they don't have any potential health risks or dangers. With the sun, we need the sun, we need the vitamin D, we need that energy. But the human-made sources can provide some sort of danger to our health. It could be fatigue or dizziness or even depression. So we're talking of something very important and how we can protect ourselves from EMF in us technological advancements where all this is something very normal. It's very hard. So the best way is, how do we protect ourselves from the harmful effects of EMF? So Dr. Melina, share with us your take on it, because I know that Ramkant Mishra talked about it, even though this is human-made and this is something more modern. So how did he talk about it, reading the pulse, that this person has too much of EMF exposure?
Yes, wonderful question and wonderful intro. EMF devices have become such a necessity in our lives. You know, it's become one of the things that we literally cannot do without, next to food and shelter and clothing. So there's definitely no question about, saying you're not going to use them. So how do we use them and still keep healthy? And it's a growing field in modern science. Modern science is discovering things as we're going along. We know more with each passing day. However, Vajja already knew about the dangers of EMF as early as 1991. It's a very interesting story. What happened was he was in London and he was taking pulses and working with medical doctors there at a hospital and diagnosing people and helping with their health issues. And he kept noticing that he is seeing the rhythm of the pulse, which is called the laya, off in most of the people that he was, reading their pulse. It was an off rhythm that he had never encountered when he was still working as a Vaidya in India. And he was very intrigued because it kept happening. And his father was still alive, Vaidya Kameshwar Mishra, living in India. And he called him and he said, I'm seeing something that I've never seen before in the pulse, and it seems to be predominant in everybody. So his father reminded him to just always stay true to the spirit of the Charak Sangita and to look for the Hetu, the etiological factor. What is it, he said, that might be present in London, in the culture, either in the lifestyle or the diet or the environment, that we did not have in India, that could be causing this problem? Because he had to isolate, he had to understand so that he could address that, bad laya. And surely he very quickly was able to isolate the fact that there was electricity in London, even though there were no EMF devices as we have them nowadays. And the village where he grew up and where he even practiced for several years, and he, after receiving his graduate in Ayurvedic medicine, he also practiced with his father for 7 years. there was no electricity. So it became evident very quickly to him that that was the factor that was causing this bad laya in the pulse. After isolating that, he had to come up with a protocol. How can we look for a protocol for electricity in the Charak Sangita that's, thousands of years old? There was no electricity back then, and there were no EMF devices or radiation. There is a protocol because, the sun is a natural source of EMF. We know that. And so is lightning. When lightning strikes, it can burn you. And it can burn you completely because of the, tremendous force with which it strikes. And Ayurveda has very specific protocols. Most of all, it has the full understanding of what is happening in terms of the energies and how to address that kind of high Agneya energy. Agneya means fiery energy.
EMF devices that we're talking about, we're talking of laptops, Wi-Fi's, routers, microwave ovens, X-rays, CT scans, all of them.
All of those, but even just electricity, your electrical plug in the wall leaks electricity. And if there are ways where you can secure it, and if you have even clocks, you have a fan, or you have any other electrical devices that's very low, it's not going to harm you, but it creates a buzz. And I'm going to explain to you in a couple of minutes how there's a very low frequency, even though, it's non-ionizing, as science recognizes, so it's not harmful. It doesn't alter your DNA. It doesn't do things, on a more subtle level, on a microscopic level. However, according to Ayurveda, because Ayurveda has such a big, beautiful, and complete understanding and picture of the human physiology in connection with the environment in which we live. If, there was nothing else that we wanted to learn from Ayurveda, just learning our connection to the universe, to nature, understanding that connection and how our body functions in accordance with the forces of nature in itself will be worth it. So, all these devices in our bedroom, even they are slow devices, are still emitting some frequency. They're still emitting like a cloud of electricity, a buzz, if you want.
Even low frequency EMF on a long term can pose some health hazards.
Exactly. Even if it doesn't cause anything, like very dire or, like a serious disease, it can cause fatigue, it can cause fogginess, it can cause sadness in the heart for no obvious reason. And these are things, that medical science cannot address yet unless it becomes a really chronic, life-altering situation or condition. But you can live, your full health without any of these little symptoms, and just, even addressing minor electrical devices can make a difference. But according to Ayurveda, the way we respond, the way our body is impacted by lightning, and the protocol that Ayurveda offers us for what to do. Vaidya took all of that and he started to implement it with his patients, the clients who were having this problem in their laya. And very quickly, there was great response. Their symptoms improved and their pulse also improved. So he started working on implementing a full protocol, an Ayurvedic protocol for how to address EMF toxicity. And his colleagues, I will have to say, at first were very dubious. They were like, what? No, the Ayurveda does not talk about EMF, but now they understand. And Vaidya gave us the full picture. He taught courses, he has published a small book about it, and he explains the big picture. And once you delve into it and you study it, you see it makes 100% sense. Most important is that the protocols that he offered us, and they're multifaceted, they work. So even if you don't believe in any of it, if you can try, you know, some of the, maybe the vibrational massage, the diet, or some of the other tools that he gave us, it makes a difference. And, you know, you can feel, you can experience it actually. So that's how the whole thing started. And that's how Ayurveda actually does talk about, you know, EMF and radiation. And in the Shakavansya tradition that Vaidya Mishra comes from, because he comes from a lineage of healers, you know, being passed on for thousands of years. All these tools, they're very specific tools. They are used and they are explained in the context of the big picture of prana that is in the universe and its connection to our body as well. And that's like one of the key factors that we teach. We have, Vaidya has a course that we have put online that's available for students if they're interested, and they can understand more and learn about EMF, prana, Ayurveda, and all of the good stuff that they can do. So
you talked about diet, you talked about vibrational massage, and you also talked about transdermal creams to cool down the liver, especially gets heated up. And share with us the vibrational massage, so you know, to move off that energy that's toxic in your body.
So vibrational massage, the name comes for two reasons. We're dealing with a toxin that's not physical. So EMF is considered a toxin in the Shakavansya lineage that is not physical, meaning it's not visible to the naked eye, and you cannot touch it, you cannot smell it, and you cannot hear it unless you have, you know, extrasensorial and devices. So it's vibrational in that sense. It's also a vibrational massage because when we say massage, we think of touching and, you know, deep tissue maybe or not. But this is a massage where you're barely touching the body. And how it works is that that same energy that's in the universe, in nature, is also in us. And we channel it through our hands, specifically through marma points. So what you are doing is, when you're doing the vibrational massage, you're trying to get rid of too much agneya or fiery energy, which is what EMF and EMR are, the ionizing and non-ionizing. They're fiery, volatile energy, invisible energy. So what you are doing when you're doing the vibrational massage is you're trying to cleanse that away by channeling more cosmic, balanced, if you want to call it, EMF and EMR through the palms of your hands. So that's why it's a vibrational massage. And you don't touch. For example, you go like this, because our faces are so exposed to, you know, we're watching the screen, we're looking at our phones all day long, you know, the face is getting full on, you know, EMF radiation. So you're just going like this, and then you, as if you have water on your fingers and on your hands, you let it go. And you do the same for your head. And then there's different, you know, movements for the full body.
So every time you're going from here, you know, as if you're throwing it out, and then the forehead, and then
Correct.
the nose, and then the neck, and then the arm, and then the heart, and then
Correct.
the gut area, and then you go through your legs and your feet, the whole thing, and then you're just as if there was something, throwing it out. Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's a way, we have also like a mini technique that we teach called Samadi Mara, where before doing the vibrational massage, you can do Samadi Mara to activate specific marma points. So you recharge yourself with full prana, which helps. Because here's something very fascinating that Vaidya said. The reason why, and science talks about this too, the reason why we are sensitive to EMF and EMR is because our body responds to it. If our bodies didn't respond to it, we wouldn't be affected by it, but our bodies respond to it. And science talks about how we have, you know, the electrons, you know, in our body, and we have, you know, specific deep down in the tissues. When EMF, we are surrounded by EMF, we have biochemical changes that are occurring. Ayurveda talks about this in a different way. Ayurveda says our bodies are made of physical channels, shrotas, but we also have vibrational, non-physical channels called nadis. And through the nadis, we receive prana from the universe and nourishment from the universe. So these nadis carry the prana, but they are also carrying the EMFs. That's how the body is able to be affected by EMF and toxic radiation. So what you want to do is you want to cleanse your nadis. So when you're doing marma massage, you're addressing the nadis and you're resetting the flow of prana through the marma points.
Vibrational massage every day, twice.
So if you work at the computer and you're exposed, if it's your job, then you have to do it more frequently. Doing Samadi Mara on yourself and then the vibrational massage. And we also have other protocols. For example, if you have to sit at the computer several hours, Vaidya recommended washing your face off with cool water several times a day.
Get more soma back in it. Yeah.
Correct.
Energy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And also, I remember he recommending wearing silk.
That's another one. Raw silk is a bad conductor and it protects your body's prana and doesn't allow radiation to enter. So any material, that's made of raw silk. Wool is another one, but you can't wear wool when it's hot. Raw silk is perfect for any temperature. It moderates and modulates your body temperature to the outside so you don't lose heat. You also don't get too hot. And it's a perfect shield against EMF. So whenever you're sitting at the computer, you can wear like a scarf, a shawl, or a vest from raw silk. You can even tie raw silk around your head, which will be ideal, if you could do that. Then, there's other things. Sandalwood is an amazing, nourishing. It's a sacred tree. And, in the Ayurvedic tradition, it has so many cooling and somogenic properties. And you can, if you can, get good sandalwood, if not available from India, from Australia, they have good sandalwood also. Spray sandalwood on your face, or if you have the oil, apply sandalwood oil on your face. Or rose as well is cooling and somogenic. So these are some, herbal remedies, if you like. But
and if you go outside, go hug a tree.
So that's the point. So what's happening is when you're getting EMF, so you're getting too much fiery energy. And what you want to do is you want to buffer that by bringing in more somogenic, cooling, lunar energy. So hugging a tree, sitting with your back against the tree. Grounding is a big one because it soaks out all your Agneya and Maruteya energy through your feet. Lying down on sand at the beach, or, in a park on the soil, make sure there's no pesticides and chemicals, of course, in it. Being in gardens, being outdoors where there's fresh pranic balanced energy that will flow through your nadis to help clean and replenish your nadis. And doing also, the vibrational massage. For example, what you can do is do half your body for the massage and don't do the other, and see if you feel a difference with the side where you did the massage and the side that you didn't, and you will feel a difference. That's like when people are doubtful, because it's like such a gentle massage. At first we're all doubting whether it's going to work or it's just something more psychological or what have you.
And then we have the creams as well, especially cream for the liver, DGL. They're just put on the skin. So transdermal creams on the spine so that it cools you down.
It cools you down. So basically, Adipati Marma is the
Yes, I was about to come to Adipati Marma. You have a good Marma oil for that as well.
Adipati Marma is the Maha Marma. Yes. It's, the big boss.
Right here.
Correct. So, and we receive so much prana from the universe through the Adipati Marma. And that Marma flows through the Adipati down our spine, through the nadis. So the spine in the Shakavansya lineage is considered so there's 107 marma points and the spine is the 108. So if you have EMF overload, you're doing too much and your nadis are overwhelmed, the spine is where you want to address things. So the DGL cream is deglycerized licorice, basically, and it's cooling and somagenic. You apply it in the palm of your hand or somebody applies it, and then you have to go down, swiping down your spine. Just doing this swipes on the spine has helped so many people. Vaidya had a lot of medical doctors who were training with him, learning all these wonderful protocols. And they had patients who had all these symptoms that could not be addressed because they could not isolate the etiology, the hetu, the cause, because it was EMF. Yeah. And at that point, nobody still knew. But Vaidya, because he had started early, he had like an early start and he had like doing his research and studying it. And so he would recommend the full protocols and they had amazing results. People were getting better. Their depression was going away. Their fatigue was going away. They were buzzed. Their sleep was improving. Their appetite was improving. So addressing the spine, swiping down with DGL cream. We also have like several other creams that Vaidya made that help improve shrotas and the nadis. So we have another cream called Prana Flow. As the name indicates, it literally supports the flow of prana in the nadis and the shrotas as well. So prana is the key, basically.
And you put it around your neck and the spine as well. Yeah.
On the cervical area is a very good place. You start from there. You could put it on your pulse and then swipe down on your entire spine.
And for the Adipati Marma, this is how you figure out. You go like this and you wait.
So you can use your ring finger and you rest your wrist here, just at the junction, the nose and between the eyebrows, and extend your finger, and then where it touches is where the fontanelle is in the little babies, and it's a soft spot. Sometimes it hurts, and some people, when you touch that point, if they have some accumulation of EMF or they haven't really addressed it, they will feel it's tender. It's
a little massage clockwise.
Very gently, clockwise, as if
and go anti-clockwise too.
Don't do anti-clockwise because prana flows in a clockwise manner.
So only clockwise direction.
Correct, with your ring finger. And clockwise means that the clock, is on your head. So if somebody were to read the time, it would go, clockwise. Yeah. So
and you can put some oil over here.
You can put some, you have to be careful. Again, Vaidya was very particular, it has to be just the right kind of oil. You can't put, harsh ingredients, chemical ingredients, anything that you wouldn't put in your mouth, basically, to eat and swallow. You should not put on your skin, and especially not on the Adipati Marma, because it's such a powerful entry point for prana. Mm-hmm. And prana is your remedy. It's your key against EMF and EMR. So really, if you have to, let's say you forget everything we talked about today, just remember one thing, prana. So then you can get prana through your food. You have to eat things that are fresh, not leftover, not with chemicals and preservatives. Prana through your water is such an important way. Do not drink purified water. Do not drink water that comes from a plastic bottle. Even filtered water, it depends on what the source of your water is. If it's recycled water that has been purified and it's coming to you, it's already dead. You're filtering out some of the chemicals, but it's not going to make a difference. Wherever you live now, there is a movement where people source natural springs, and you go there with your containers every, a few weeks, you fill up and you come back. For cooking and stuff, you have no choice. It's going to get cooked anyways. But at least for drinking water, if you can source good water, or at the area where you live, if there's, a supplier that provides good spring water with a 7.0 pH, not too high, because water is such an important way of replenishing prana and somagenic prana. And then, minimize your exposure to screens. If you have to work, you have to work, but don't, like, when you're done with your work and you want to do something to relax, don't go watching a movie or, scrolling on your phone or, do something else. Go for a walk in the moonlight where you get more soma.
Actually, they say that every 20, 25 minutes, when you're on the computer, just get up, take a little walk, just give your eyes some rest.
Absolutely. Every 25 minutes is perfect. It's ideal to help you reset and, make sure the flow is, because when you're sitting down also, everything is stuck.
Yeah.
And then prana flows. It comes in, it flows, and then it has to be evacuated. So if you're sitting, you're immobile, it's also not flowing. So it's very important to, stand up and then break that pattern and do some stretches and go outside of the office and get some fresh air, so.
Yeah. And I think put some screen protectors on your phone and on your laptops and computers as well. Helps.
There's so many wonderful devices now. I was just seeing one this morning as well, and they all work to some extent, more or less. And you can choose, there's so many. You can do your research and see which one fits you. You can test them with specific readers to see which one is really working. But bottom line is, when you're using your phone, even if you have like a little sticker on it that helps mitigate it or reduce it, it doesn't do so 100%. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to use your phone, right? So try not to put your phone next to your head.
I was about to say that.
Use it on speaker mode, that's the best way. When you go out, don't carry your phone in the same spot all the time on your body. Never put it on your heart.
Yeah.
Don't put it next to any of your organs. Put it in a pouch, preferably something that also minimizes the radiation.
It could be a silk pouch as well.
Correct. Silk pouch will be the best, actually. And then wear it, on you, but not on your body itself. Mm-hmm. And, all these little things that we can do, to help externally and also internally by keeping our prana and soma levels high. And, things are going to get more powerful as technology advances. So it's not like we have a choice in terms of, not using these devices, but we have a choice in terms of, what we can do for ourselves. At first, it may sound a little like difficult. It's like something extra you have to do, but you'll feel so good that, you'll be like, oh no, I want to do this because I feel better. I feel more clarity in my mind and in my heart. So I think it's just a little learning curve basically, but it works.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Melina Mishra, for continuing the legacy of your late husband, Vedram Mishra, and talking to us about how we can safeguard our health, which is so very important. So thank you once again. And
thank you for having me. It was such a delight to chat with you.
Likewise. And I'm Dr. Renee Mehrra. Stay healthy, stay positive.